Today we're looking at President Thomas Jefferson. Hello, welcome to the Daily Bellringer. Please don't forget to subscribe and take a look at the questions down in the description. Thomas Jefferson was the third president of the United States, serving from 1801 to 1809, and was a member of the Democratic Republican Party. Jefferson was one of the most influential figures in American history. He played a pivotal role in the shaping of the United States, and he was the primary author of the Declaration of Independence and would be an important figure in the expansion of the nation. Jefferson was born on April 13, 1743, in Shadwell, Virginia, the third of 10 children born to Peter Jefferson, who was a successful planner and surveyor, and his mother, Jane Randolph Jefferson, who came from one of the most prominent families in Virginia. Jefferson showed a keen interest in learning from a young age, and his father made sure Thomas attended school. Jefferson enrolled at the College of William and Mary, where he studied mathematics, philosophy, and law. He very closely studied the writings of philosophers John Locke and Francis Bacon. After graduating in 1762, he studied to become a lawyer and quickly established a successful practice. In 1768, he began construction on his plantation, Monticello, which is Italian for Little Mountain. Jefferson oversaw and designed much of the house himself. In 1772, Jefferson married Martha Wales Skelton, a young widow. Together they had 6 children, though only 2 survived to adulthood. Martha died in 1782 and on her deathbed made Thomas promise never to remarry, as she could not stand the thought of someone else raising her children. Jefferson was deeply affected by Martha's death and never did remarry. Jefferson's legal career and his growing political involvement placed him in the middle of the growing tensions between the American colonies and Great Britain. He became a vocal critic of British policies and a strong advocate for colonial rights. In 1774, he wrote a summary view of the rights of British America, which argued that the colonies had the right to govern themselves. In 1775, Jefferson was elected to the Second Continental Congress. Recognizing that he was a great writer, he was chosen to be on the Committee of 5 to draft the Declaration of Independence. During this time, he formed a close friendship with John Adams, and he looked to Adams for advice while writing the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson's declaration was approved on July 4, 1776, with some changes. The document outlined the colony's grievances against King George III and declared their right to be free and independent states. Jefferson's eloquent writing and powerful arguments made the Declaration a timeless statement of human rights and freedom. After serving in the Continental Congress, Jefferson returned to Virginia and was elected governor in 1779. His tenure as governor was challenging as he faced British invasions and internal conflicts during the American Revolution. After the war, Jefferson served as a diplomat to France, where he served as U.S. minister there. His time in Europe broadened his perspectives and heavily influenced his views on government and society. In 1789, George Washington appointed Jefferson as the first Secretary of State. In this role, Jefferson navigated complex foreign policy issues and advocated for a limited federal government. He became a leader of the newly forming Democratic Republican Party, which opposed the Federalist policies of Alexander Hamilton. In 1796, Jefferson was elected vice president under John Adams, serving a 4-year term marked by political rivalry and partisan tensions. In the election of 1800, Jefferson was elected as the 3rd president of the United States, defeating his old friend John Adams in a bitter and tight election. Thomas Jefferson would be the first president inaugurated in Washington, D.C. on March 4th of 1801. He was a strong believer in laissez-faire government, or basically the principle of limiting the size of the government and allowing people to do as they choose. His presidency is best known for the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, which doubled the size of the United States and opened up vast territories for exploration and settlement. Jefferson also commissioned the Lewis and Clark expedition to explore the newly acquired lands and find a route to the Pacific Ocean. Although he was president, Jefferson was not fond of public speaking. Instead of delivering a State of the Union speech to Congress, he instead wrote a letter to Congress, which was a tradition continued by presidents through the early 1900s. Jefferson was a popular president and won re-election to office in 1804, defeating Federalist candidate Charles Pinckney with more than 70% of the popular vote. Jefferson's presidency faced significant challenges, including conflicts with Britain and France that threatened American trade and security. He responded with the Embargo Act of 1807, which aimed to avoid war by halting all foreign trade. The act, however, was unpopular and hurt the American economy. After serving 2 terms as president, Jefferson retired to Monticello in 1809. He spent his later years focused on education and founded the University of Virginia in 1819. Thomas Jefferson died on July 4, 1826, at the age of 83. Jefferson died on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, just hours before his friend and fellow founding father, John Adams, died. So with that, hopefully you learned something, and thanks for watching.